Thank you. So I stay on water, and this one comes from Sasang Pai, a cognizant. I came to know the Isha Foundation through Rally for Rivers. Please could you enlighten us on the possibility in progress and how we can contribute?
I think they showed something on the video about Rally for Rivers. We made a 760-page policy recommendation as to how Indian rivers should be managed, because on an average, all Indian rivers on an average have depleted about 40% in the last 70 years. Some rivers have receded over 60 to 70%, major rivers. We must understand this, the European rivers are of a different nature and Indian rivers are of a completely different nature. Here largely the precipitation comes in the form of rain and also snow. And glacial water is probably the main source. I believe about 55 to 60% of European rivers are coming from glacial waters. In India, only 4% of river water is glacial, rest of it is forest-fed. River is not the source of water in a tropical land. River is a destination into which the water comes. The only source of water we have is monsoon. And this monsoon pours down in 45 to 50 days in a year. What comes down in 50 days? All in the form of water, not in the form of snow. Because snow will pile up and stay for 2 months and slowly melt and trickle into the land. That is not how monsoons come. Monsoons come like a torrent of water, all liquid. So how do we hold it? We were holding it because there was substantial vegetation everywhere. So vegetation and the richness of the soil held it and slowly let it go in the form of streams and rivulets which all joined together and became a river. But we have removed green cover in such a way, if you have flown over India, if you fly from Delhi to Chennai or Bangalore, if every 5 minutes you look down, it looks like one brown desert, except for the Western Ghats and a few patches here and there, rest is all farmed totally. Because there is no vegetation and there is no richness in the soil, we are not able to hold the water. When the rains come, there is flood, otherwise there is drought. At the same time, at the upper regions of the river, there is flood, the lower regions of the river, there is drought at the same time, at a given time. This phenomena is happening mainly because of removal of vegetation. To what extent means you must understand this. For example, Ganga Basin, where it accounts for 25% of India's geography, 33% of India's agriculture, we have removed 92% of green cover in the last 60 years. What's the plan? So Rally for Rivers mainly is pushing towards putting back at least 1/3 of the green cover back on the Indian subcontinent. So right now, as a sample of that, we are doing one short river which is 54 kilometers, which unfortunately became notorious as the suicide capital of India, which is called as Yavatmal in Maharashtra, where maximum number of suicides happen. Almost every third family we meet has had a suicide in their families. So we have taken this up hands-on project, where recently the cabinet approvals have happened and we are working on the ground. Our volunteers are meeting every family, 9,600 families in the Yavatmal region are being contacted and given a cell phone number. In case of any distress, they can get back to us. The fundamental is to change them from regular farming where there is no scale. They're just scratching land which is 2 acres, 3 acres per family. They cannot invest enough in a 2-acre land. If they invest, they become debt-ridden and drives them towards suicide. So we are seeing how to make them an integrated way of approach and also towards agroforestry, which will revive the river. A larger project that's coming up, which all of you can participate in whatever way you can, because we need a big push for this, is called Kaveri Calling. Kaveri is a river which flows mainly between 2 southern states, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. These 2 states have been at war with each other as to who should drink more Kaveri water. See, if there were 2 glasses of water for both of us, we will drink our water and be nice to each other. Suppose there's only 1 glass of water between the 2 of us, we're nice people but we'll fight. Yes or no?
Probably. But yes, I'm sure you won't.
No, if there's no water, I will also fight. I'm saying, people will fight, isn't it? Because of scarcity, people will fight, even nice people will unnecessarily clash with each other. This is what has been happening. Here we have removed 87% of the green cover. Kaveri is very dear to me because I grew up around this river. Once I floated down this river for 13 days on just 4 truck tubes and a few bamboos. I lived off the river. In my experience, I never saw this river and fantastic forest that was around as natural resource. I always experienced this as a life larger than myself. It's a much bigger life than you and me. And it has been there before you and me and it should be there after you and me. But right now we brought it to a place where it may not be there. What's been there for 1,000,000 years may not be there for the next generation. We're bringing it to that place. Right now the scientific studies show Kaveri has depleted 46%, but I don't agree with this because they are taking the monsoon flow also as the volume of water. If you leave the monsoon flow, if you just go and see the river after October, in my eyes, it seems like it's 25 to 30% of what it was when I was a child around that place. So it's depleted so sharply, it's been troubling me. So now we are doing this. This is a rally of a different kind. The Rally for Rivers was purely an awareness because river is a concurrent subject in India between the central government and the state government. We wanted to bring that concurrence, which we managed for the first time. The 16 states at that time were ruled by 6 different political parties. For the first time, they came together on one cause. Otherwise, opposition parties have always been, whatever one says, the other will say just the reverse of it. This is how it's been. But they came together and spoke in one voice, which itself was a tremendous thing. It showed the maturity that there is, in spite of the daily fighting that happens, when real issues come, they stood up for one cause. That was fantastic. 162 million people supported this cause in 30 days' time. I personally drove 9,300 kilometers, 142 events. Literally, we were on the road 30 days non-stop driving and talking ourselves hoarse. But this did the job. Now, the Rally for Rivers recommendation became the official recommendation for the 29 states, that the government sent this as an official recommendation. 3 to 4 states are very proactive, they're going and doing their own thing, which is very good. Another 6 states we've signed MOUs, but now we need a large-scale demonstration. See, the important aspect of this is, we are shifting farmers from 3-month, 4-month crop pattern to agroforestry, which will multiply the farmer's income. Right now, we have transformed 69,760 farmers into agroforestry, and their incomes have multiplied 5 to 8 times in a matter of 10 years' time. So this multiplication of income will happen. Why I'm saying this is an economic plan with a significant ecological impact. That is what is important, because the moment you talk ecology, all the businesses become cautious because these guys are going to come and bash us. All ecologists or ecological activists always trying to hit some industry or some business. So this is what I want to change, and this is what we have successfully changed is, economy and ecology have to go hand in hand. If you pit one against the other, if you pit one against the other, economy will win hands down, ecology will be battered. So that is what has been happening, especially now in India, because we are looking for an economic surge. We are talking about becoming a $5 trillion economy. When we go like this, there is a possibility ecology could be trampled. So we are working with the governments because it's very, very important. This is something always, at least in India, the people who represent ecological concerns have never worked with the governments, always against the government. If you're serious about doing something, you have to work with the government. There's simply no other way. Well, there may be compromises because they have their own concerns, they have their own political and budgetary issues and various other dimensions are there, not just some ideal that we hold. So this is a new trend that we have created, that ecological concerns are not of… People have always treated like this. Economy is today's concern, ecology is tomorrow's concern. I'm saying ecology and economy are today's concern and they have to go hand in hand. So if you want to support in some way, Kaveri Calling will start in September. Just to tell you how it is being done, this time we are on a motorcycle. A group of us are riding down 1,500 kilometers, nearly 1,500 kilometers down the river, camping on the river, creating about 35 events along the way. We are asking for the governments to give an incentive for farmers to shift from regular farming, which destroys riverine terrain, into agroforestry. This is yet to happen. Both the governments are examining the budgetary proposals that we have given. Whether it comes through or not, if it comes through, we will go propagating the benefits the government is offering, the incentives. If it doesn't, we use it as a people's movement to push the government towards that policy. But this has to be done now. What I see is, if we don't do this in the next 12 to 15 years' time, I think particularly southern region, right now it is the most water-distressed region is Tamil Nadu, and it's also entering Karnataka in a big way. I think it's a clear manifestation, we don't care a damn about our children and their children, how they live here. It's a very clear statement as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to leave that statement.
Thank you.